Imagine you're starting a project to build a brand new study app. Let's call it StudyMate. Your first option is what's often called the waterfall model. Like water falling over a ledge, it only moves in one direction. You lock your developers away for 2 full years to build every single feature before anyone else ever sees it. But there's a massive risk. If you finally launch and realize users don't actually like the app, those 2 years of work are essentially wasted. Now, look at choice 2. Instead of waiting years, you build a very small, basic version of the app in just 2 months and get it into the hands of real users immediately. Those users start giving you feedback right away. They tell you what works and what's missing, which lets your team improve and release version 2, then version 3, in a continuous cycle. For modern software, releasing early and adapting like this helps prevent a total failure. It makes it much more likely that your final product actually solves the problems your users are facing. This second approach is called the evolutionary model. Just like a tree growing from a seed, the software grows step by step rather than being manufactured all at once. Think of it as a continuous loop of logic. First, you build a small version, creating a simple design and writing code for essential features. Then you get feedback. You test, release, and listen to user requests to improve. Because of this fast-moving loop, the customer gets a usable piece of software very early on, instead of waiting years for a finished product. This allows the app to grow naturally based on what users actually need, rather than what a developer merely guessed they might want. Think about the apps on your phone right now. Do you think a massive app like WhatsApp launched with every single one of its features on day one? Not at all. In its first cycle, WhatsApp was for messaging only, its simple, working core. User feedback pushed it through the loop again, introducing voice calling, then video calling, status updates, and communities, each step driven by continuous feedback. This is exactly why you see those app update notifications every week. You are watching that evolutionary growth happen in real time. The most successful apps are essentially living organisms. They thrive because they are constantly adapting and growing inside that evolutionary loop. Now, people often confuse this with the prototype model, so let's look at the difference. A prototype is just a disposable sample used to test an idea. But the evolutionary model starts with a permanent working core that stays with you and expands over time. This is where the model really shines, lowering risk. Remember that waterfall approach from earlier? It keeps your risk high until the very end. But with the evolutionary model, the risk drops every time you complete a cycle. Since you're building in small bursts, you catch bugs early. You can fix them in version 1 before they have a chance to break a much larger, more complex system later on. It's a strategy that leads to early delivery, happier customers, and the flexibility to change your plans whenever you need to. It turns changing user demands from a problem into the actual fuel that makes the software better. But what happens when the stakes are higher? What if the software is meant to run a nuclear plant or launch a spacecraft? In those cases, a bug in version 1 isn't just a minor glitch, it's a disaster. When the cost of failure is that high, simple evolution isn't enough. We need a model built entirely around predicting and stopping risks before they happen. That is the spiral model, and it's exactly what we'll cover in our next lesson.